when the world's too dark of a place to be, and you need an escape from reality. Open up those pages, it's sci-fi or fantasy, whatever genre you please. And join a book club, 'cause you won't read it on your own. Join a book club, so you'll be held accountable. It's just a means to an end, but you're doing it with your friends, so join the book club by DLC.
Hello there, book clubbers! Oh my goodness, we've missed you. The world is a dark and scary place. Hope you found some time to dance amidst all of it. It's all we can do. It's all we can do. Here's your reminder to carve out a little bit of time to dance. And here we are. We're starting book 10 of the Malazan Book of the Fallen. I cannot believe we're here, Lana. I'm Jeff Kanata. I'm with Lana Bachynski. How are you?
I'm so good. And, sometimes it takes, diving through a different dark place to feel like I can, find some time for dancing. But I take it and I'm so excited to be here. It's almost surreal feeling to be like,
Yes.
Yeah, book 10.
I can't believe it. It is. We are in the home stretch of this incredible series, and I couldn't be more delighted to have all of you with us. Let's dig in. We're going to get to chapters 1 and 2 of the Crippled God shortly, but we like to start the show with a non-spoiler topic, and these are often sent in by you, and we love that. DLC feedback at gmail.com is the best way to send in topics for us to start the show. This one was sent in by the one who stole Tehol's blanket. I was wondering who that was. They wrote in the first episode of the book club was published on April 7th, 2023. Can't believe how time has flown.
Yeah, no kidding.
The one who stole Tehol's blanket says, I'm at a loss as to how those years have flown past. Your show always acts as a milestone in my weekly calendar for something to look forward to. I just wanted to ask a non-spoiler topic. How has having an online book club been in this journey through these books that will soon be coming to a close? What are the best, but also worst parts of it? And how has this journey contrasted with your expectations going in? Much love to you and the community in general. Much love back at you, one who stole Tehol's blanket. We very much appreciate the question. Can't believe we're here at the beginning of the end. But Lana, what say you? What are the best and worst parts of doing a book club?
I feel like it's the best parts feels like everything, having a book club, never having this experience before, trying new things with other people is probably the best part. Very specifically being able to spend this time with you and having somebody to talk about the thing that I'm enjoying in a way that I have, like the intentional time to just discuss something that I'm enjoying is not something that has been a part of my life before. So I feel like the best part is having that space for that and holding space for that, making time in the week. I remember when I was saying that I was going to start the book club, I had some friends being like, oh, but you're so busy already. Isn't that like so stressful? And being like, ensuring that every week I spend time chilling and reading and then discussing books was absolutely not a stress adder to my life, but a stress reliever from my life. And that has been, as someone who can be, stressed out, I feel like that is one of the best parts about it.
Yeah.
Probably like the worst part about it. I cannot think of like any true downside. It's so hard to think of like the worst part. The worst part is, I guess, feeling like I'm letting a community of people down if I have to push by a week. That's probably the worst part, is just like the guilt of when other life gets in the way and knowing that there's a bunch of people who are going to be bummed. It's like that same thing of like trying to keep up a D&D group. And if you're the one person who can't play that week, it's like, now none of us can play this week is what it feels like. I'm ruining the fun for everybody. That's probably the worst part about it.
I had the exact same answer for the worst part is when feeling like, oh my gosh, I don't want to let folks down if we're going to miss a week. It's funny that you say that. Just to be clear, I said the beginning of the end. We haven't explicitly talked about that, but I don't think either of us have any intention of ending the book club when Malazan ends.
Yes.
I don't know that we're going to do more of Mr. Erikson's books right away, or any of the E.N.C. Esselmont book, or if we're going to go completely.
Decided.
Yeah. So I think, honestly, part of that will be an open discussion with the community. I know a lot of people gravitated to this specifically because it was Malazan, but I would like the book club to continue to be a book club and expand into other books. And we'll see what comes next. We have a few months to worry about that yet. But I didn't want there to be confusion about the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, much more positives than negatives for sure. And I agree with everything you said. The whole impetus behind this was to ensure that I actually did carve out time every week to read, and force myself to have some accountability in the reading process. And oftentimes with life and kids and work and other things, it's easy to be like, oh, I don't have time tonight. And that, like you said, that intentionality and making it a core part of my week has been so positive. And of course, the enthusiasm of the people who have become part of this community, I did not foresee. I mean, obviously we do other shows. I have done shows for 15 years, almost 20 years. And, I'm not unaccustomed to communities being built around shows, and it's always wonderful and awesome. But this one in particular just feels like such a vibrant, positive, supportive group. And it's been such an awesome experience feeling buoyed by folks that have already been through these novels, and that like excitement to experience what they've already experienced is a different, because my other shows are about reviewing new things that nobody's experienced yet, and the idea that we're coming into these books late and people are like, I'm so excited that you guys get to see it. It's infectious. It feels exciting. I love the feedback that we get from folks and corrections and all that stuff. It all has felt so positive, and that's what a gift, what a treasure.
And definitely not something I would have expected. Like
Yeah.
probably the two pieces I wouldn't have expected is how much the book club would feel, when you pitched it to me, being like, you and I gonna chat every week. Is that okay? And I'm like, yeah. But like, it does feel like I'm in a book club with a bunch of other people where we're discussing it. It's asynchronous for the most part, but that connection to the community and how much community would bolster us and follow us on this journey was not something I would have expected. And the other piece is really how much that I would enjoy talking about things. I was really, really, really nervous going into this. And
you didn't reveal that to me.
Oh,
the nervousness.
Didn't I? I didn't like before recording every time being like, I feel normal. Is that a normal thing to say?
Well, the other thing that I think, we just randomly lucked out with is picking this book series to start with.
Yeah.
Because there's a version of this where we picked some series that we didn't really enjoy that much, and we still would have kind of, slogged our way through, and people wouldn't have loved it because we would have been complaining all the time or whatever. There's a version of it where it didn't, and the fact that these books are so well written that we got to chat with the author, that the sort of the themes and the community around the books that already existed before we even were part of it are built out of sort of compassion and positivity and a real emotional connection. That was all completely by accident from our perspective, because I didn't know anything about the community around these novels at all. I was just like, I'd heard these books are good, and I heard they're really challenging, and let's try this. And
Yeah.
that was all a surprise. So what a pleasant surprise it has been.
Yeah,
too.
getting to talk to the author, that should probably be up there on the surprises list.
Yeah. Huge.
Yeah, big time.
Huge.
Big time.
Yeah. I mean, that has been, that should have been, that we buried the lead on that one. That has been one of the most amazing aspects, is to be able to talk with an author who is so generous and open and kind, and just that experience has been unmatched. It's like, it's unbelievable. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. But thank you all again. We're, it's a neat time to kind of reflect a little bit, because here we are starting the Crippled God, and let's get into it. Spoilers starting now for chapters 1 and 2. And Lana, let's just start right away with your reaction to chapter 1, because here we are. We're starting the last book. It's all come to this.
It's
all coming together.
A bunch of stuff just happened in the other book. We're starting cliffhanger. Starting chapter 1. It felt like we took a 2-month break for
I know. I was like, wow. There's a lot being thrown at me. There's no prologue in this novel, but it feels like chapter 1 has the same DNA of the prologues from the other books.
I'm like
in that
a little confused.
Yeah, it's enigmatic. It's a little, it's foreshadowing things. It's talking about characters that we don't really know yet. And it seems like a lot of this stuff will make more sense in retrospect, as the prologues often do in these books. But the other thing that strikes me, Lana, is, obviously we have become friendly with Steven Erikson, and I hear him when I read now in a way that I hadn't before. But my goodness, these first few excerpts feel like he's talking right to the audience.
Yeah.
I want to I know we'll have our sections at the end of the book, or at the end of the episode, where, our favorite sections from the book. But I want to do something that we don't really do, which is the poem that starts chapter 1. If you'll indulge me, I'd like to read it.
I will indulge.
Because it feels like the author being very candid with the audience, sort of, and the first scene with Cotillion continues this like reflective vulnerability from the author, almost a defiant vulnerability. Here's the poem that starts chapter 1. If you never knew the worlds in my mind, your sense of loss would be small pity, and we'll forget this on the trail. Take what you're given and turn away that screwed face. I do not deserve it, no matter how narrow the strand of your private shore. If you will do your best, I'll meet your eye. It's the clutch of arrows in hand that I do not trust, bent to the smile hitching my way. We aren't meeting in sorrow or some other suture bridging scars. We haven't danced the same thin ice, and my sympathy for your troubles I give freely, without thought of reciprocity or scales on balance. It's the decent thing, that's all, even if that thing is a stranger to so many. But there will be secrets you never knew, and I would not choose any other way. All my arrows are buried, and the sandy reach is broad, and all that's private cools pinned on the altar. Even the drips are gone, that child of wants, with a mind full of worlds and his reddened tears. The days I feel mortal, I so hate. The days in my worlds are where I live forever. And should dawn ever arrive, I will to its light awaken as one reborn.
Yeah, baby. That is so well read, but well examined in the directness of Steven talking to us through Fisher, which,
Yeah.
as the community has pointed out, that Fisher is like the best ones go to Fisher. And I feel like all those things sort of combined, that that sentence, "There will be secrets you never knew, and I would not choose any other way," feels like such a resonant experience of enjoying this book.
Yeah.
There's a million things that we missed. We get comments every week about little details, things for people who are on their third, fourth, fifth read throughs of Malazan that are with them, and there still are secrets beyond that are just for the author to know, just for Fisher.
And then, so he, right after that, we start chapter 1. The very first line is Cotillion pulling out 2 daggers, right? What is that? You're starting the final novel of this grand epic. Cotillion drew 2 daggers. What, man? I'm like, this author does not do anything by accident, right? That is an intentional beginning, drawing 2 daggers. And then the first thing he says is, "I have no intention of explaining a damned thing." I mean, come on. That is as baller a way to start a book as you can get. The final book. And then this entire, I read all of chapter 1 and I felt like it was a whirlwind of things that, and I read chapter 2 and I was like, okay, that's I'm in the groove. And then I went back and reread chapter 1 again, and reading this entire Cotillion sequence, talking to Edgewalker, it feels like Erikson talking to the audience. He's saying like, hey, Edgewalker's like, no matter what you do, they're going to say you failed. And he's like, so be it. That's what we have to do. We're here. This is how it's going to be. If they're going to say I failed, then they say I fail. But, I'm doing what I'm doing. It feels like it feels a little defiant. It feels a little like, I understand everybody. You've come to this point.
We've got to finish it.
We're finishing it, but some people are going to be disappointed. There's that line where he says, beyond all expectations, beyond even all desire, they will still speak of your failure. And he says, they're going to kill you. They're going to kill you. And he says, well, that doesn't mean I have to lose, does it? Yeah. So good. So good.
And something that I didn't pick up on my read through, I did not take your advice and reread chapter 1. I should have, I didn't. But, talking about this now, interesting that is then mirrored later by Cotillion's buddy Shadowthrone.
Yeah.
Tenuous ally, Shadowthrone, saying, even when I lose, I win.
That's right. That's
right. Same message, different words.
So, I don't know for certain that is the author, speaking to the reader directly, but man, it sure feels like it. And I appreciated that. I just thought he speaks of audacity. He's like, the audacity that you have. And he's like, what is it? Is it audacity? He says, no, it's confidence. It's so good. It's so good. Anyway, I was blown away by that. I was just like, what a way to start the final novel. It's like, it's the author saying, I get it. I understand that there's going to be some of you that I can't possibly appease, but this is where we are. And this is what I'm doing. And I'm going to be satisfied with myself. And there's, even if you're unhappy, that doesn't mean I've lost. I've done it. I'm here at the end. Incredible.
Ooh.
Yeah. All right. So that's the first scene. Scene 2, we have a character that we haven't seen for a minute, a Forker Lasalle, Calm, who is badass. Okay, so go ahead.
I was just going to say badass. We haven't seen her basically since she walked away. Did we see her in the interim? I don't recall. I remember talking a lot about her because I was like, she's coming back.
There was one time we saw her. Yeah.
One time.
But I feel like there was one time, yeah. Doesn't she kick somebody's ass? I feel like she...
Probably.
Yeah. Anyway.
I got the slippery brain, Jeff.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
yes, she is looking awesome, like trudging through, the wastelands and trails of chains behind her. She says the end is coming. Like there's a lot of the end is here
Yeah.
stuff.
Calm is one of those characters that I wish that I just kept a sticky of like characters whose names I haven't said in a while. Just to be
Yeah.
like, what's up with Calm? Huh?
Yeah.
Moving on.
Yeah.
Now she's here. Very exciting.
The third scene, we have two new characters. The Teistliosen, who we have barely touched upon in the course of this series.
They've had some pretty bold efforts that were ultimately fruitless through time. And then they're like on the other side of that shake veil, right?
That's what it seems.
Mhm.
They're staring at the wall of souls that they call the White Wall. They talk about God in a singular tense, or tense probably the wrong word, but as a singular entity.
Yeah.
God failed us, they say, not plural, not like
Not
there's
the one
one.
yeah.
Right. So I don't know what that means.
But no matter what, Oshrik, they're the guy who was God boss, dragon God boss, girl boss, God boss of the Teistliosen. Here's one thing that I didn't quite.
Kesoban? Is that what you're saying? Are you trying to get to?
Kesoban's the new one. There's
okay.
like my brain wants to say Osric, but I don't think that's how you actually.
Osric is the father of light.
Yes.
Daddy
Light. They're like, he failed us big time. And so now
they're turning away from
friendship
him,
ended with Osric. Friendship started with new guy now.
Right.
But they had a dragon pinned in the back. My brain said that was Osric, that they were like abusing in the back. Just like, anyway, pay no attention to him. He's literally dead to us because we're killing him right now.
I believe they're drinking his blood.
Yeah.
And it's so disgusting and difficult that one of them ripped out their own throat as they were the last to drink.
Yeah.
And we don't see any of that scene, but I imagine everybody like peer pressuring that guy, being like, hey man, your turn. He's like, I'm good. I'll wait. It's like, we've all done it. We've all done it, buddy. It's your turn to drink the dragon blood. And he's like, okay, yeah, bottoms up. And he's like, oh, and then pulls his own throat out. And everybody's like, nah, I guess we probably shouldn't have pressured him so much to do that. That feels bad.
Ooh, that was, ooh. Anyway.
Sorry, bro.
Major party foul, brother. Major party foul.
Yeah.
But them all drinking his blood, that is like the same thing as like, the Mother Dark family and drinking Tiam's blood, right? It's like that.
Oh, I didn't make that connection, but yes.
Mirror.
Good call. Anyway, so this is Khadgar Fant, Aperol Forge.
Aperol Spritz.
New folks we're meeting. Yeah. So I don't know what to make of them. Iparth or Iparth Erule.
Just that it seems like, failed attempt 1, shame on me. Failed attempt 2, also shame on me. No more failed attempts, okay?
Yeah.
Gotta get the dragon's blood. We're gonna get freaky deaky like Animander Rake style. Whew.
Freaky deaky. That does seem like the Teistliosen are getting freaky deaky.
Mm.
Next scene, we have an all italicized section of the crippled god's inner thoughts or outer thought. I don't know what to make of this yet. But the crippled god is musing on some stuff. My first read of this scene, boy, I didn't know how to grok it. My second read of it, it really made a lot more sense to me. He is basically musing on his own followers and his sense that he once sort of, was their god of pain, and now he actually pities them. He calls himself the only god that actually answers prayers, which I thought was really interesting. He's gathering poison. I don't know what that means, but he talks about this change, this revelation that he's had, this this understanding, and that he's kind of like talking right at the reader as well. I don't know if it's the reader. He's talking to someone, and we don't know who that is.
Yeah. He references even moments that we saw directly of that one guy who like came through the desert to see him when he was in like the crevasse. In my brain, he was like in a crevasse somewhere in the desert, and then what's his face came to see him, and he's like, "Help me out, man." He's like, "Okay," and then he like busted both of his legs forever, so that he had to slither around in the desert. Like referencing even moments that we'd previously witnessed of him was interesting.
Yeah, my servant, he calls him my servant.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. But it seems like the crippled God is even having this revelation toward compassion. He's talking, whoever he's talking to, he's like, what you need is more compassion, have value in compassion. Is like, that's not what you expect from what is ostensibly the big bad of the series.
If I could so easily go back and clip I remember joking with you, talking with you semi-seriously, being like, okay, but if there's one guy we know really is the bad guy, because the last book is called The Crippled God, I would just intercut that right here. But the thing that I was thinking about while I was reading this section was one of the comments from the end of that last novel of Masan Galani. And did she meet were those the right people that she were sent to meet or not, or what was the deal? And the debate of like, I thought they were, but even in this, a little bit later, she's like, were you the right people that I was sent to meet? Which I thought was interesting. But through this section, when we were debating about that, somebody in the comments said they're trying to free the crippled God now.
Yeah.
The Unbound crew work for the crippled God, so they are allies. And seeing that now, being like, wait, we're helping this guy now, or freeing him. I don't know. Like, I guess that's helping him, but like, what does that mean? And is he turning around to be a, quote unquote good guy on the side, where in the end we're like, and he was right all along.
I mean, it's interesting, right? Because he talks a lot about his followers being, not too bright, and being like, the dum-dums, if I feel bad for them, they're doing the best they can with what they were given. That's all they got.
Mm-hmm.
That's and what they want is my pity. And guess what? I will give it to them. I will actually answer their prayers. Mm-hmm. Interesting perspective from the old CG.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Next scene, we're back with Cotillion. And he and Edgewalker have arrived at the 3 chained dragons. I believe Cotillion has hung out near the 3 chained dragons before.
I have some memory of that.
Yes. And he was like shocked that they were there, but now we're back and he's kind of talking to each of them and asking them, what they're all about. He tells one that they're, you are Makra. And the other dragons are like, yeah, don't trust that one. There's the deceiver.
Mm-hmm.
And they ask what each of them dream of.
Yeah. I think the last time we was chatting with them, the dragons were like, no, we're totally chill, dude. Just set us free. And he's like, won't you eat me instantaneously? And they're like, no. And he's like, won't you kill each other instantaneously? And they're like, maybe.
Yeah. So interesting scene. He ends with like, this is how it must be. I don't know exactly. He said he's gonna give them freedom, and this is how it must be. So I don't know what to make of that. Then we have a really awesome scene under the water, where Mael, the god of the sea, sees this like underwater fire burning, which is such a cool imagery, and arrives there, and it's cruel. The big god of the Warrens,
OG Warren bloodman, and
they proceed to have a real enigmatic conversation.
Yeah,
lots of pronouns that I don't know what they're referring to. He says, "Me with mine, you with yours, him with his." Who he?
Akarian.
Who that?
Akarian. Or crippled God.
I don't know. So Mael shows up with a wrapped corpse.
Who's the corpse?
We don't know who the corpse is. But we know it's a male because not male, but we know it's a he
Yeah.
because they say he this because at first I thought the corpse because they talk about how something about the corpse being a catalyst that's going to change somebody's, and I was like, I had a couple of ideas who it was, but
I did too, and now
both of them were women, and I was like, well, it's not either of those.
I had some ideas of who it was. I briefly was like Akarium because he like had a death, but then later we talked to Mappo and not really.
Well, we know
etc.
where Akarium is because we're about
Yeah.
to find out that old Calm has him pinned to the ground with bones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in the scene, I'm not going to get it. I had a guess that I thought was a really good guess, but I didn't write it down because I'm a chump. Ooh, it'll come to me. It'll come to me.
They talk about how impressed they were with the. Okay.
Oh, I thought it was Crocus. I thought it was Crocus.
Interesting, Crocus. That's an interesting idea. So this is what I couldn't remember. They're talking a lot about Tavor.
Yes.
And how amazing she is, and how they're kind of asking if they talk about two children, twins that she's trying to keep anonymous or hidden, unknown. Unknown is the word they use. These two children that the Tavor is trying to keep unknown, and she was trying to keep the Bone Hunter's activities unknown, but that all blew up because they think because of the errant.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, was it a push? Was it an accident? We don't know. And there's these two children that are twins. I don't remember.
Tool's non-children were twins.
Tool's children are twins. Very good. Very good. Anyway.
But I think that could be a red herring. And part of my brain's like, are Sin and Grub technically like freaky weird
I thought
twins?
Sin and Grub too. But aren't they like lovey-dovey and not
Yeah, but they don't
siblings?
know. They don't know. Where the heck did Grub even come from?
I thought Sin and Grub too.
Yeah.
I did. Okay, so the reason the theories that I had about the corpse were because they're talking about Tavor, and I was like, oh, is it the corpse of to Amber that is going to like spur her to do something? Can't be to Amber because it's a he.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had another one. I can't remember who it was, but again, not a woman. So I don't know who this corpse is, but also. Me with mine, you with yours, him with his. Is that a reference to the corpse? Me with my corpse, you with your corpse? I don't know what any of that means.
My brain said that male can seem to bop around all over the place.
Yeah.
And I assume that he's traveling just like water is his, and he's anywhere water is, he does water stuff. Cruel has his warrens, and then my brain thought Akarium also has his warrens now.
Right. Yeah, that's right.
And then I was like, oh, maybe it's Crippled God, like me with my followers, you with yours, and the Crippled God.
Oh, interesting. Interesting. I don't know. But yes, the of the corpse, he says his soul remains strong. Oh, this is Cruel talking. His soul remains strong, trapped in his own nightmare of guilt. I would see it freed of that. Poised to act when the moment comes, a life for a death it will have to do.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know what any of that means, but exciting. And then, he has this awesome moment where Mael's like, yeah, I've been watching Brees Benedict, and I watch him through the salt of his tears, the saltwater tears.
He stares out through the tears on his face. Come on.
So rad. Of course the god of saltwater could do that.
Yeah.
So rad. He's not looking out through his eyes, but through the tears. So cool. And then it ends with Cruel being like, man, I can't even feel my own tears. It's so nice being in the water. I can't feel my own tears. And Mael says, why do you think I live here?
I thought that was a great line. And I was like, is this a chicken and the egg? Did you become the god of water because you were like, I gotta get rid of these tears?
So weepy.
So weepy.
All right, so then we have a scene with Udnas in the refugium with Onrak and Kalava and all the folks that Ulshan Prawl, all the folks that we left Udnas with last time we saw him, which was
Books
a
ago?
whole book ago. Yeah. And again, another scene. I don't think I got it, but I don't, it's cool. I don't know what's going on. They're arguing about Udnas's son, Rude Alal, and says that he got more from his mom, Menandor, than she ever imagined. And there's a lot of talk about how humans are going to F some S up, that like humans are the real problem. Again,
and
not sure
like,
I grokked all this, but.
And there's like sensing happening where people are like, do we even know if anybody's alive out there? And Una's like, he's alive. We're like, how do you know? He's like, I just do.
Yeah. Yeah.
And is this the scene where they're also like, y'all gotta go. You gotta get out of here.
You gotta leave. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Kalava says she's gonna guard the gate so that everybody else can leave. All right. So then we have the scene we talked about a little earlier where Calm finds Icarium, who had flung himself from the conflagration. Thank you. Sorry. English, not my first language. It is. It's sad. Anyway, so she finds Icarium and binds him with like bone ropes. I imagined like the Lilliputians, binding Gulliver, but instead of twine, it's like bone ropes. That's how I imagined it.
Yeah, but she was. I pictured that there's like dragging chains behind her in the first scene where she was like strutting around, and I feel like she was like dragging them, and it's like finally, and like, but then she like pulled all the It was he's strapped down with some bone rope,
and then she stabs his side and is like, "I'm gonna drink from your power." And it talks a lot about justice. I pulled a quote from here, which is about justice, which I thought was cool, because we know the Forkful Sail are all about that justice. Even if it's bad. All right, the next scene. Hey, it's our old friend, Ganua's Perrin.
Been a hot minute, buddy boy.
What's up, buddy? And it's like, oh, it's so nice to wait. What? Where are you? What's going on? Yeah. Who are these people? Oh, it's so nice to be with a familiar. I don't have any idea what's going on. What?
It's so nice to read that one familiar name.
I mean, we know Nato Boyle. We knew he was with Nato Boyle, but evidently, in the interim, since we last checked in with old Ganuez, he got himself into a battle with the Watered and the Shriven?
Yeah. I don't know.
Okay. All right. I'm down.
Time has passed.
He's in it. He's got his host. He's got his.
Yeah. The last time we saw him, he was with the Pestilence crew who are all dying of disease. Dujik died off camera. And now he's the High Fist.
Yeah.
With the host. Bunch more Malazans, just been battling the way that they do.
So they're fighting this battle against a foe that I don't really know what they are, but they're using children as kind of a shield, which is gross.
Yeah. And
the children have been in caves, and there's some talk of like, what are they even doing with those children in the cave? And I'm like, I don't want to know. And it seems that everybody knows that Ganuez and crew are not in a position to win this fight, but Ganuez is basically bluffing the whole time and bluffing to the enemy to try to just strike fear into them so they think they can't win.
Mm-hmm.
He's like standing on the battlement every day, like just staring them down, just being like, I'm better than you. And there's some talk about how like, well, would Andromander Rake have done that at the Battle of Pale? If he had done that, things would have been different.
Yeah, if he just like was right on the lip of Moonspawn, people would have just looked at him and like, oh, that guy? Yeah, call it off. We're done here.
So Ganuez is like trying to puff up his chest to do his best Andromander Rake impression. So interesting. Then we pop over briefly to Karsa Orlong, who has a full thought about his old buddy, whose name I can't remember because he doesn't say it in this section, but his old buddy who got hit in the head and thought he was a dog.
Yeah.
Sad
It was like
friend.
he had two pals. One started with a B and the other
Yeah.
one started with a D. And I don't remember their full names.
But I certainly recall his head wound that caused him to think he was a canine.
Yeah.
And Karsa's like, he had it right. We're all like that. We all live in chains. We all are in cages. We're all basically dogs. And he says, I blame the gods. And then he says something enigmatic. When she comes to me, when she says that it is time, I shall take my sword in hand. Who's she? I don't know.
The only was it the italicized section, or that comes later?
That is the italicized section.
Yeah.
And then after that, it's Samar Dev being like, let's bang.
Yeah, that was the part I was thinking of. Because it's like when she says blah blah, my only thought was Saren. But then immediately it's like, ugh, you say some crazy stuff to get into my bed, baby boy.
Yeah, it's very funny. She's like, it's weird when you talk about people with massive brain damage as a aphrodisiac. Just say less.
Yeah.
Say less.
I just love that they won't they turn will they off screen. Come on, give us the payoff, Steve.
I know. It is kind of cool though, where she's just like she's like, just don't break me, and he's like, baby, I don't break things I like. Yeah. But cool to like just touch on the fact that, hey, Karsa's back in the mix in this novel. Readers, don't worry.
And they're an item.
Anyway, so the she that he's talking about, my first thought was Tavor, but I don't know why that would be, but that's who I thought.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. All right. So then we have a really interesting scene, very unexpected scene where we're in the mind of Apsalara, who we know broke out of Dragnapur. And turns out she's super grateful for that, that Animander Rake actually broke her out. And so she now has decided that she owes Animander's son, Nimander, her loyalty because of that. So she sneaks into his, as one does when they feel like they owe somebody something, she sneaks into his room, hides in the shadows, and waits for him to notice her. And he's like, if you're here to kill me, it doesn't seem like you're here to kill me. So why don't you sit down and have some wine with me?
Mm-hmm.
And they have a little chat.
And isn't that when she's like, yeah, I've been like lurking here, but like, do you have ale, wine, really?
Yeah. I don't really like wine. I'm more of an ale girl. Yeah.
And she's a Zambi, isn't she? Because
is she a Zambi?
She shows up and she's like, what's up? And he's like, says something. Do you know what I am? And doesn't he say that he thinks that she's a Talana Moss? And I assume that's because she looks like bones. Because she had like, even in the sword, she had like worn her wrists down to the bone, like brutal.
Yeah. Good call. Yeah. But also she's the like patron saint of assassins.
Master of thieves. She's not assassin.
Oh,
so we have associated with her assassins because of
Surly.
Apsalar.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Surly slash, yeah.
Sorry,
not Surly. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry / Apsalar. But
right.
she's the master of thieves.
Yeah.
Which probably does some assassinating as well. But
yeah.
So
she decides that she's going to be his right hand. She's going to be his advisor. She's going to hang out and be as he attempts to rule Black Coral and be the new ruler of the Tystandi. And she's like, hey, so give me the lowdown. Who are all your advisors? And he's like, oh, it's the normal Shintik and Destra and Korlat and Spinnock. And she's like, what about the guy in the basement? And she's like, oh, Clip? No, he went to Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. She's like,
we don't talk about Clip anymore.
Yeah. She's like, yeah, but he still has power. So it feels like a little seed of something that's going to happen.
I also love that she's like, your dad let me out, dude. And he's like, why? And she goes, I don't know.
Yeah.
But then he like would ask her some questions and she'd be like, your guess is as good as mine. And then he says something like, should we go, like, what's the point of this other thing? And she goes, you want to find out together? She's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
the way that she builds that relationship through the unknown. And then eventually like that last line of being like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Let's find out. It's like
Yeah.
the handshake at the end of that of they gonna be buddies. So it's like,
Yeah.
I thought that was a really fun scene.
Totally agree. She said something like, he's like, well, what do you want to do? He's like, I want to do what your father would have done. And
Yeah.
he's like, well, what's that? And she's like, let's find out.
That's what it is. Yeah.
And,
Love that.
And I also like how we are getting Nimander's like, I'll never live up to my dad. I'm not even his favorite son. He had multiple. I don't even think he had a favorite son. I can't possibly live up to his legacy. It's going to crush me. Just the burden of rule is just, and I like his vulnerability is very, feels very relatable and revealing. I liked it. So anyway, but like very unlikely duo, Absolar and Nimander, but it seems like they've paired up now. They're going to be a unit. Okay, so then we have back to Genoa's Perrin, and we have Shadow Throne, and he is in full Shadow Throne mode, baby, where he's like, hey, what are you doing, Dragon Master? And he's like, don't call me that. I'm not that.
And he's like, well, the other one's like such a mouthful, but I love just like the power of like naming through this of going from master of the deck of dragons is like, okay, you're master of these cards. And now we have like all these dragons being set free. And changing it to Dragon Master is like, that feels like a different thing there, buddy boy.
Yeah. And they have this really wonderful exchange where Shadow Throne is being so Shadow Throne-y. And he's like, why are you so confident? Where does your faith come from? I don't get you. He's like, it's going to seem like you and your sister planned this from the very beginning. And I know you didn't. You're gonna lose this battle right here. What's your deal?
You don't even like each other. I know you didn't plan this together.
Yeah. He's like, what's your deal? And meanwhile, Genois is like, yeah, well, you and your buddy Cotillion, but where's he? Usually you guys show up together. Do you even know where he is? He's like, I don't want to talk about it.
He's like, interesting. So like allies is maybe even like a strong word. I think it's that scene as well. I like it because Shadow Throne is like, feels like he's getting more and more unhinged every time we see him. And in this case, he's even like not physically all there, where it's like he'll like manifest like a smoke hand to be like, there's at one point where I think Genois is like, if you're so sure I'm going to lose, like, let's cut a deal. What I want, I get, like, if I win, I want, you win, you get what you want. We just both have to say what we want. And Shadow Throne is like,
I'm
like he just
strangle you right now, you more.
Puts like a little shadow claw out just to be like, you're so annoying.
Yes. So they come to this wager where he says, if you think this is an unwinnable battle, but if I win the battle, then you give me what I want.
Real quick Ben attitude here.
Yeah. But then Erikson obviously obscures what he wants because he's like, all right, tell me what you want. And then it's like, Perrin tells him. And it's like, so we don't know. We don't get to know. Yes. So, and I can't remember what does Shadow Throne want? He wants to know what causes him to have the faith. I think that's what his whole thing is. So there you go. All right. So that's how the chapter 1 ends. And by the end of that, I was like, whirlwind. Oh my gosh. Chapter 2.
When we talk through it, it feels a lot more like, okay, we're setting the scene. We're setting the scene. But reading through it, I was like, my brain was like dancing in little circles. This is great. This is why I love the book club. I need this to ground myself.
Totally. All right. So the first scene of chapter 2 is Tula Shorn, who, is a soul taken and can fly, but no longer trusts the sky, doesn't want to go into the sky for some reason. And he finds the remains of a Talana Moss who is on a pike, forced to look one direction. This character named Skan All. And Skan All is like, just turn me around. I want to see what's behind me. Turn me around.
I want to see. They killed me, but I know I killed them too. I know that I killed them too. And it would just be so good to see that we killed each other. Because I know it's there.
Right behind you. Just turn me around.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, Tulas is like, well, here's my predicament. Not turning you around is a dick move, but turning you around also a dick move. So what do I do exactly?
If I turn you around and I remove any ideas you had of what was behind you, will you be mad at me?
Yeah. Also, there's, a really disturbing image. There's a skeleton of a newborn that's there, which is always harrowing to read about. But then, so he does decide to turn Skan All around, and Skan just starts howling because he can see the truth. I don't know what that was. It seeing the baby?
I assume that the truth was that the person that he thought, he's like, I know her body's right there. And he's like, I heard her breathing. And to me, it just seems like they were in this fight with a pregnant person.
Yeah.
He like stabbed her or whatever. And the baby came out of her body. I don't like whatever in the battle, they damaged each other, but she then had to give up the baby in some way, but then she was ultimately fine.
This feels so similar to me as the prologue to, was it Memories of Ice? Where the pregnant Jagat woman was running.
That was my thought as well. And then she put them in the pain
threw
hole,
them into the scar. Yeah.
Yeah, that was my thought as well.
I don't know if it's the same, but it certainly recalled that for me.
Yeah.
All right. Then we have maybe my favorite scene of this entire section, this entire week, with Relata and Draconus and Ubala Pung. I pulled.
Yeah,
me too.
Same.
Okay, I'll let you read it. That's so good. It's so good. Ubala being just its lunkhead sex pest, and
I don't remember. I thought Ubala was like, I feel like Shirk broke something in him.
Yes,
because I remember him being like
well.
a sensitive boy, being like, I want people to want me for more than what I got going on, and now he's like, can I do sex on you?
By that's right. That I feel like he's been converted to the dark side. He's a full sex pest now. And poor Relata is like, can he stop? Please just stop hitting on me. And Draconus is like, I don't know what to tell you. This is how it works. This is how courtship is.
Yeah, that section about courtship, real good.
Yeah, that's what I pulled. But I'll let you read too.
Yeah.
So good. But I love the little relationship that Relata and Draconus are kind of having with each other, where Draconus is, built up as being this terrifying dark force, and he's just like kind of like a nice dad. He's just like
kids need water.
Yeah, he's just like the soccer coach. He's so great.
I love it. This whole time it's like, Animator had to kill him with his own messed up sword.
Yeah.
Like this, this Draconus, and now he's like, I got food, I got dinner, kids.
And he's like,
got a crush.
Yeah, you kids, it'll work itself out.
Yeah.
And he's like, Onos Tulan? That sounds like the kind of name that wouldn't be ruling your people. That's all really so interesting. And she's like, Talana Maz. He's like, Talon? And he freaks out, starts cursing and yelling at the bitch, and we don't know who that, who's talking.
That's got to be Olar Ethil.
Olar, right? Yeah, she's the one that did the whole thing.
But then, interestingly, Relata keeps talking about Silver Fox, and I feel like I don't know if he would know who Silver Fox is, but she's like, Silver Fox did blah blah blah, and he's like, ugh, and I'm pretty sure that he's cursing out Olar. but there's like an interesting, what feels like miscommunication, or like just like
Yeah.
yeah.
I loved that whole scene though. That was so good. All right, then we're over to Mappo, who's just musing on how he's mad that his best bud Ikariam is not with him anymore, and he's got to get back to his buddo. And Gruntle is there. He's upset about the fact that he has to be the Treach's boy, basically. And he says something interesting about how he has visions of his mistress being gored by a boar's tusk, which of course would refer to Fenner, the former god of war. But we thought Fenner was out the picture, so I don't know. And then we sort of stay in this group because we move over to Faint's POV, and she's injured and uncomfortable and trying to find a good position to lay down, and everything hurts.
Her ribs are broken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's like, and Mappo's leaving. He's out of here. He's leaving us. Gruntle's going to leave us. She's talking to Setok, and she's like, I don't even know if we get into trouble, who's going to fight for us? Because those are our biggest fighter dudes. Well, who's going to fight Torrent? He's just a kid. He's just a kid. She said, man, life was better when I was just riding in the carriage.
Yeah.
And then we go to Torrent, and he's having a bad dream.
Actively, or he
wakes
in the middle
from
of a
bad
dream?
dream.
Oh yeah.
And Setok comes, and she's like, I also had a bad dream. The wolves are sensing something. And Torrent's like, it's a long story. This lady that I hung out with for a little while, she's really weird.
She's obsessed with me.
She's been following us. It's awkward. Like if she walks up, just don't even talk to her, because she's I don't know. She's weird.
I also like how they have like their little coy moment where both of them feel, I get the sense that both of them feel like a little displaced. And so they have this moment where they kind of have their bonding, where they're petting the horse and just sort of like enjoying petting horse's silky fur and being like, yeah, I asked Gruntle about the dream, or whoever it was, maybe it was Mappo, about the wolves in my dream. And you know what he asked? He asked if they lifted a leg on anything. And both of them are just like having a little giggle about the fact that the wolves might take pee-pees on things to mark territory. And they're both like, hee, pee-pee wolves. Like they're just like having a little time. I thought that was very sweet. Yeah.
It's like, it's how they take ownership of things. They pee-pee on stuff, It's what they do. Yeah.
But anyway, that Skelly Bones lady is getting pretty bold tonight.
Yeah, he's like, if she comes over here, just ignore her. And here she comes.
Everybody be cool.
Be awkward.
Nobody's being cool.
Yeah. And Olar Ethil walks up like, I want your boy. I want the little kid.
Here's the thing I thought that was so interesting about this scene. It's very intense. Olar comes for Tool's kid. And everybody's like, that's not happening. That kid's a child. You're a weird witch lady who's only been doing bad things to people.
Yeah, you have no face. Getting a kid. We're not giving a kid to anybody that doesn't have a face.
Yeah. And everybody like starts off standing really true, with like the exception of, I think it's Precious Thimble, whoever has like the potential magic to get them out of there, that can use magic to get them out of there. But they're used to like their comfy carriage, and they don't want to walk all the way to the Crystal City to find magic there. So if they can get the shortcut now, they will. So that's like the fraying edge of the strength, but the strength of the party. But then everybody has something that makes them weak to Olar Ethil's sort of plotting here, and like she's going to get her way. So it seems like it's going to be really strong at first, where the puppy dog immediately like rips one of her arms off and goes to kill her, but then she rips its head and spine fully out of its body and turns into a heap of bones. Pretty crazy.
Dude, that part where she's like, why is tell the kid to come with me. And she's and Gruntel's like, you killed his dog right in front of him.
Like,
you think he's going to want to go with you? You just murdered his dog.
and he now he's like crying over the dog's body and doing more like babbling that is like magical chanting of some variety, certainly.
Yeah.
In the same way that with him being like, la, 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 like summon the dog in the first place or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But the part that I thought was interesting is everybody feels this guilt and everybody feels pathetic because in the end, Olar does take the child and all of them are like, I can't believe none of us were strong enough to stand up to her.
Yeah.
But also the arguments of all of us like being like, we're also going to go into harm's way. We're also about to split up. Nobody's actually able to defend this kid. And if she says that he doesn't want to die, it's interesting the fact that she does seem like maybe she's the safest place for him, despite the fact that they all perceive her to be like this evil witch lady. And then how badly they all feel about that. It just was like the way that the conversation transpired, it did feel kind of like they all really did think about what was best for the kid, but maybe that was the veneer of lies they told themselves to feel good about giving him up.
That's how I found this whole sequence to be heartbreaking. I mean, heartbreaking. I was so disappointed in Mappo and Gruntel, just because I felt like they were more honorable than this. But in the end, Olar Ethil is she just, Wizard of Oz's them. And she's like, I'll give you, what do you need? What do you want? And how Torrent is like, she's going to do this so quickly. She's going to bargain so fast. It's not even going to be this prolonged negotiation. She's just going to give you whatever you want, whatever you need to get what she wants. And in the end, that's exactly what happens. It's just like, yeah, what do you want? That? Yep. Got it. Done. Next. Who else? What else do you need?
And
I'll tell you, Mappo, I'll
like...
tell you where Ikarium is. Gruntel, I'll get you to a war. Precious Thimble, I'll, magic you to the city, whatever you guys need. Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
And it was heart-wrenching because they're talking about bargaining this little kid and they all know that they shouldn't do it, but what they want trumps what should happen.
All of them feel like they have like another purpose that was bigger than this kid that they stumbled upon. And I think it's in this chapter where they say like, but what is the point of like reaching adulthood if to not protect the next generation, to protect children? Like, what's the point of being an adult? You think there's something better for you to do than protect children?
Yeah.
I guess the answer was yes.
And the only person that actually stands up is Torrent. Who's like, I'm gonna go and chase her down and protect that kid. And I know that it's gonna suck being with Olar Ethil again, but that's why the idea, and I didn't even really put this together until he spelled it out. I mean, I know it happened, but I didn't make the connection that all those children that Talk entrusted to him died. Like every single one of them died.
Yeah.
And he feels the guilt and the burden of that. And he's like, I let all those kids die. I'm not going to let this kid die.
Yeah.
Oh man, I found that so heart-wrenching. And so, and then Cartographer talks to Setok and is like, isn't it weird how the only one of us that is prepared to defend the children is the youngest or like weakest of all of us?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Crazy. I found it. I was really moved by that. All right. The next scene is Masanghalani, who's still trying to make it back to the bone. What?
Who's starving?
Yeah. Super hungry. Hanging out with the Talana Moss. She's like, does anybody have food? I know you guys don't need to eat. You've got some kind of, does your magic make like a biscuit or anything, a banana? Is there any?
But not a rat lizard. I shan't be eating a rat lizard. I'm dignified.
That's right. They have beaks and teeth. That should not be. But she's hanging out with, our few, and by the way, I feel like I was what's the word I'm looking for? I was proven correct with my assumption that these was the wrong people. She found the wrong people.
But the dust went to the one.
I know, but she's
I think it was. I do think I read that, and I do think that you were proven correct. But to me, I'm like, did they assume that the dust was going to go to other Talana Mas? And so the assumption that they made was wrong, but she found technically the right people because that's where the dust led her to. Like that's the part.
I don't know the
understand,
details.
They
of
had
that.
a piece of their body.
I feel like she was trying to get to Tool.
I felt like that she was too, but then they were like, Dale, I don't remember the name, is now complete.
Dale.
You know, they were like,
yeah,
this guy finally has his whole body. Thank you so much for that. Like that was correct. I don't know how Talana Mas dust works, but my assumption is that your dust is your own. It's not just dust, any dust. So I don't know. There's something weird going on. Either way,
she's kind of coming to the conclusion, like, have I been following the wrong dudes this whole time? Like, this feels wrong.
Because she says a couple things to them, and all of them just kind of go like, and then like internally, she's like, "Use freaks isn't the people I was supposed to get out of
yeah.
I thought there'd be a lot more of you, and it's just you guys."
Yeah,
and now
slowly dawning on me that I made a catastrophic mistake. Also, you know, she's like, man, that giant storm that appeared in the sky right over where the bone hunters were, that sure seems bad. Can't wait to get back to all my friends though. And then of course they arrive at the scene where the Talana Mas are like, this was both a battle and a feast. And she's like, feast? That sounds bad. Who's eating who? What? Cannibalism? And they're like, no, they were not human. And she's like, I'm going to still put it under the cannibalism category because ick.
Yeah, you fighting somebody like equals and then you eating one as cannibalism.
Yeah. Let's not split hairs on the cannibalism thing.
Yeah.
So they, she seems remarkably unfazed by the death of literally everyone she has hung out with. But
I guess her assumption is not necessarily that they're all dead in a way that our assumption is that they're not all dead.
Yeah.
But I also like that in this, they're like, did you notice there's a mountain here now? And she's like, no.
Dude, her sarcasm is top tier. Just like sarcasming the undead ghouls, you know? And she's like, oh, really? The mountain? No, I certainly didn't notice that, idiots. It's so great. It's just like a couple of other lines where she's being like hard sarcasm.
Yeah.
But they talk about wanting to win their master's release.
Yeah.
Which again, I think is the Crippled God, right?
Yeah.
All right. Then we have another of my favorite sections of this week, which is this prolonged sequence of Erikson teasing out who he could possibly be in the POV of somebody coming back to life, realizing, like thinking back on their childhood and all these. And for the longest time, I thought, is this Quick Ben? Is this Quick Ben? Is this Quick Ben? And it turns out it was Bottle.
Yeah.
But still an amazing sequence where we knew that his mind was fraying. He'd put himself in all of these
animals. The
Risen,
winged.
was it? Yeah. Maybe it wasn't Risen. Anyway, yeah, he was like dive bombing during the battle, and to the point where his own psyche was, shattering.
Entirely frayed, yeah.
Yeah. But then we've come to find out that somebody tied them all together. Quick Ben.
Sneaky boy.
So cool.
He loves the threads.
And I love the fact that Bottle and Quick Ben had this sort of, this very kind of antagonistic relationship with each other a bit. But Quick Ben was really like making sure he was okay.
They feel like brothers. Like where they're brothers, but they're like teenage brothers that are not besties. It's like, well, maybe those are your powers. Maybe those are your powers. You tell mom. You're stupid.
Yeah.
There's like a little bit.
I'm stronger than you are at magic. No, I'm stronger than you are at magic. Yeah, that kind of thing.
Yeah. It's like so.
Yeah.
It's
But
yeah.
all the while, like making sure he's going to be okay, tying his psyche together with the threads. So
Big Bro's
cool.
gotcha, buddy.
Exactly. Oh,
Ooh.
so great. And he wakes up and Ruth and Good is there. And this whole sequence is so rad where he's like, yeah, I've been pulling you on the how do you pronounce that word? Travois? Travois. I've been pulling you across the desert. It sucks. And he's like, oh, well, I feel a lot better now. I can walk. He's like, well, can you pull the travois? He's like, why? Is there somebody else dead? He's like, nah, man, I thought maybe you'd do me for a little while. I could rest.
I also love that he's just like, yeah, we're not gaining on them by a lot because you're heavy. He's like, you're carrying me? And he's like, what? What? No, I'm dragging you.
And the whole interaction, like Ruth and Good, like still completely being coy about who he is and how powerful he is, where he's like, dude, I saw you get buried under a whole he's like, yeah, they pounded me into the ground. They must have lost interest.
My armor is so good. And Bottle, like seeing him being like, yeah, I saw them all like staring at you
die, bro.
Well, then he had like seen through like the animal's eyes that all of the Kachain Naruk like tried to beat him up, and then they were like, and like moved on. He's like, I saw them like just staring at you. And he's like, did you? I don't know if that happened. You're crazy. Just like gaslighting him.
Yeah. Awesome. Like, I love the mystery around Ruth and Good. I love that. I love
it's killing me. It's going to reveal who he is. He's like, and like Bottle's like, oh, it's cold. But then it was melting. He's melting. Yeah. And I'm like, I feel like I should know who it is. It drives me crazy.
And I can't remember the exact details of the joke, but he says something like, are you a storm rider? And he's like, what? Those are, and he's like, he says something I can't remember.
He says a rogue wave.
Yeah. A rogue wave. He's like, what? He's like, nah, I'm just joking, man. Anyway, it's like totally
just what's over there? Whoa.
Bobbing and weaving around the topics, you know, it's so good. So good.
Who is he? The only thing I keep coming back to is that like, it's like what male should look like. He's just like a weird icy waterman, or he's like actually a Jagat who was in that Azoth house, but he died. So then he was the first tyrant for the first book, suddenly like fine now and being like,
well, we know the first tyrant is Mr. Belvedere in the Zath house now.
I know, but maybe the Azaths all died because a bunch of them were dying.
That's
so maybe
true.
he got out and he's just like, he's going to drop
would be funny.
His magics. And he's like, oh yeah, my face is all sliced up from that time I was bad boy. You know, I don't know. I 100%
believe he's a god. I believe he is a god. I don't know which god. I don't know. But I 100% believe he is an ascendant in some way. He's a god walking around.
Yeah.
And that's I'm putting all my chips on that bet right now.
Yeah. But
anyway, awesome
again.
sequence.
Yeah.
I loved it. I love how long we don't know it's Bottle. I dig that.
I will
stuff.
say I put together pretty quick that it was Bottle. Because it talked about grandmother and then the sticks and the voodoo dolls stuff.
Yeah,
like
the
grandmother
was the big clue that I missed, where he talks about grandmother. I should have caught that. But when the moment where he's like, I learned things, knowledge, magic, I was like, oh, is it Quick Ben? Which is really fun because when I find out it's Bottle, by the way, as soon as I found out it was Bottle, I went back and reread all that stuff with Bottle in my head. And I was like, oh, it's all here, idiot. But the cool thing is that me thinking it was Quick Ben pays off because the next scene is Quick Ben.
Yes.
So I didn't have to wait to like check in with him.
And another cool scene.
Yes. But another enigmatic scene, another mysterious scene, another what does all this mean? He's talking to someone he calls Mother, which immediately I think Mother Dark, but
I did too.
Who knows? But then he also refers to a father Light. I don't know.
Is he a little shadow baby? Because he worked with Shadow Throne. Maybe he's between them.
We know he has a bunch of souls in his body, so maybe he's channeling one of the. I mean, there's a lot of possibilities of what it could be. But anyway, he's like he takes this scepter out and he like conjures a portal of some kind, and then he leaves. And
he's
something
talking to someone who is there.
Yes.
So he's speaking as though somebody's there, but it's sort of like this idea that there's like a presence nearby. Then he conjures a crazy shadow mare, pops
Yeah,
on
that
top
was
of that
rad.
thing. Hell yeah.
So
Just
rad.
like epic. What?
Yeah.
The depth of your magic knows few bounds, Big Ben. Like
Just
pops on that
gallops
thing.
off on this freaking awesome steed with fire eyes. It's so
Yeah.
rad.
And then he had like used this, the part that was like he used this scepter to like do stuff, and then he pieces out. But then there's like a portal that's still kind of there, and like whatever he was maybe talking to shows up with like a crack of a cane.
Which Shadow Throne is the only person I know uses a cane, right?
That was my thought as well.
Or the Crippled God, but I don't know why he would call that mother or father. I don't know.
I thought Shadow Throne, and then I was like, does Krupp use a cane? Would he show up?
Whoa.
Like a badass?
Why would he call it mother and father? I don't understand.
I don't know.
Father and mother thing.
Maybe Krupp is Ruth and Good, and he's really just bearing.
Oh, that would be wild. I don't buy that, but I think it would be wild.
I want to know.
So good. So good. So chapter 2, man, I felt like, man, I'm right back in it.
Yeah.
We're cooking now.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, good stuff.
Excellent.
All right, I have two sections, but I think you can read
one of the
second
same.
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
How many do you have?
My annotations are loading, Jeff Kanata.
All right. Well, I took a photo, so I'm good to go right away.
I have a single sentence, and then I have two more. One being the scene with Rolata. But my single sentencer was: a watch was turning over, and the high fist listened to commands snapping like flags behind him.
Yeah.
I just loved the visual of like flag snapping, like banners snapping, but it's commands snapping out. Ooh, just delightful.
Oh, that we should have mentioned that whole Geno's Perrin scene. The metaphor that Erikson established, or not metaphor is the wrong word, but the imagery that he establishes of this like dragon kite that is being flown, that is the signal kite, but also feels like a metaphor for how the battle is going. I just loved all of that. Such good imagery. Really good stuff. I
agree.
Yeah.
But do you want me to read this?
Yeah. Go for it.
So this is the scene with Ubala and Draconus and Valata.
Good.
I don't know if it's the exact same section that you had, but it's the one I really liked. Come back to the fire, beloved, the Tebler called. Drink some tea. It has real leaves in it and stuff that smells nice. Rolata massaged her temples for a moment and then turned about. I am not your beloved. I belong to no one. I never will. At seeing the half smile on the face of Draconus as he tossed another dung chip onto the fire, Rolata scowled. It is rude, she pronounced as she walked over, squatted down, and took the cup Ubala proffered, to talk in a language I don't understand. You could be plotting my rape and murder for all I know. The warrior's brows arched. Now, why would we want to do that, Barghast? Besides, he added, Ubala is courting you. He might as well give up now. I don't want him. Draconus shrugged. I have explained to him that most of what we call courting boils down to just being there. Every time you turn, you see him until his company feels perfectly natural to you. Courting is the art of growing like a mold on the one you want. He paused, scratched at the stubble on his jaw. I can't lay claim to that observation, but I don't recall who said it first. Rolata spat onto the fire to announce her disgust. We're not all like Hitan, you know. She used to say that she gauged the attractiveness of a man by imagining how he looked when she was staring up at his red face and bulging eyes. She spat again. I am a skin cut, a slayer, a collector of scalps. When I look upon a man, I imagine what he'll look like with the skin of his face sliced away. She's not very nice, is she? Ubala asked Draconus. Trying hard, you mean? Draconus replied. Makes me want to sex her even more than before. That's how these things work. It's torture. I don't like it. No, I do. No, I don't. I do. Oh, I'm going to go polish my hammer. Rolata stared at Ubala as he surged to his feet and thumped off. Low and in the language of the white faces, Draconus murmured. He means that literally, by the way.
I'm so glad you read that. Oh my god, you did. That was great. I love that sequence. So funny. I'm gonna go polish my hammer.
And she's like, he's like, no, for
Ew.
real though.
Yeah, no, he's really gonna. No, it's literally. The art of courting is growing like mold on the one you want. Oh, so good.
So good.
Oh
so
my gosh.
good.
What a great scene. Amazing. All right, this is I can't remember who this is. I think this is Calm. This is Calm, yeah. Long ago, she knew, the worlds, pallid islands in the abyss, crawled with creatures. Their thoughts were blunt and simple, and beyond those thoughts, there was nothing but murk, an abyss of ignorance and fear. When the first glimmers awakened in that confused gloom, they quickly flickered alight, burning like spot fires. But the mind did not awaken to itself on strains of glory, not beauty, not even love. It did not stir with laughter or triumph. Those fires, snapping to life, all belonged to one thing and one thing only. The first word of sentience was justice. A word to feed indignation, a word empowering the will to change the world and all its cruel circumstances, a word to bring righteousness to brutal infamy, justice bursting to life in the black soil of indifferent nature, justice to bind families, to build cities, to invent and to defend, to fashion laws and prohibitions, to hammer the unruly metal of gods into religions. All the prescribed beliefs rose out, twisting and branching from that single root, losing themselves in the binding sky. But she and her kind had stayed wrapped about the base of that vast tree, forgotten, crushed down, and in their place, beneath stones, bound in roots and dark earth, they were witness to the corruption of justice, to its loss of meaning, to its betrayal. Gods and mortals, twisting truths, had in a host of deeds stained what once had been pure. Well, the end was coming. The end, dear ones, is coming. I mean, that's again another moment of Erikson stepping outside, breaking the fourth wall, and being like, the end,
Brace
dear ones,
yourselves.
is coming.
Yeah.
But I love this notion of justice as this terrible thing.
Yeah.
Binding families. What's that? Another line that is just incredible. Man, there's a turn of phrase, like what I wouldn't give to write just once in my life, a turn of phrase as powerful as, where is it? Oops, that's the wrong section. To hammer the unruly metal of gods into religions. Metal, mettle. The unruly metal of gods into, that is top tier. Unbelievable.
Beautiful.
So good.
So good. So good.
Did you have one more?
I did have one more. This is Mappo. Just sort of thinking about Ikariam and vows. Wants and needs could starve and die, no different from love. All the grand gestures of honor and faithful loyalty meant nothing when the only witnesses were grass, wind, and empty sky. It seemed to Mappo that his nobler virtues had withered on the vine, and the garden of his soul, once so verdant, now rattled skeletal branches against stone walls. Where was his promise? What of the vows he had uttered, so sober and grim in youth, so shiny of portent as befitted the broad-shouldered brave he had once been? Mappo could feel dread inside, hard as a fist-sized tumor in his chest. His ribs ached with the pressure of it. But it was an ache he had lived with for so long now it had become a part of him, a scar far larger than the wound it covered. And this is how words are made flesh. This is how our very bones become the rack of our own penance, and the muscles twitch in slick skins of sweat, and the head hangs loose. I see you, Mappo, so slumped down in pathetic surrender. He was taken from you, like a bauble stolen from your purse. The theft stung, it stings still. You feel outraged, violated. This is pride and indignation, isn't it? These are the sigils on your banner of war, your lust for vengeance. Look upon yourself, Mappo. You mouth the arguments of tyrants now, and all shrink from your path. But I want him back, at my side. I swore my life to protecting him, sheltering him. How can that be taken away from me? Can you not hear the empty howl in my heart? This is a pit without light, and upon all the close walls surrounding me, I can feel nothing but the gouges my claws have made.
I want my buddy back.
Want my buddy.
Want my buddy.
He was my charge and my friend.
Such good writing.
Beautiful.
There it is.
Woo! The physical book.
I know.
Is that how you're reading?
I have been going back and forth. I reread chapter one. I reread chapter one on, Dead Tree. And I'm like, I kind of want to read the rest of this on Dead Tree on paper. It's good. It's a different experience,
I have, the cover on the thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, I got to look up this with colors so I like staring at the cover and being like, when am I going to see this scene? Who is that? Who are these? What is going on there?
Who dat?
Who dat?
It's been a long time since I've read a real physical book, which is maybe a sad commentary, but I do enjoy reading on the Kindle. It's just so convenient. But I was like, wow, it's markedly different to read, a physical thing. Anyway.
Yeah.
Book good. We're in it. I don't know. I can't remember what we're doing next week. I don't know if it's 2 or 3. I think
it's 2 and then 3, I think.
2 and then 3. Okay, great.
I can check.
Thank you again to the usual suspects for giving us that roadmap. I'm told the last chapter of this book is like the longest chapter in the entire series or something crazy like that. So they've worked it out. So we're all set. And thank you, Sorov, and all the folks who do that. Yeah, you guys are the best.
Yeah.
And all of you for listening. We appreciate you. I know the world can be hard, but we have each other and we have the ability to dance our way through it. It's all we got. Let's do our best.
When the world's too dark of a place to be, and you need an escape from reality, open up those pages and start your fantasy, whatever genre you please. And join a book club, 'cause you won't read it on your own. Join a book club, so you'll be held accountable. It's just a means to an end, but you're doing it with your